Well, hello, young and the restless daily recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Wednesday, November the 30th, 2022. Wednesday, November the 30th. Okay, today's episode, not a lot happened, but it's kind of beefing up where the tension is going to go with the young and the restless. We have Nate and Elena. Elena's getting ready to go for a meeting with Lily to talk about the podcast. And Nate's getting ready for work. And Nate's telling her, hey, why don't you come work with me at Newman? And she's like, I just pretty much got to Chancellor Winters. And you know what? I have some sort of loyalty to Devon and Lily, to stay there. And so he goes, well, what about your loyalty to me? And I thought, well, that makes no sense because their relationship, their personal relationship, they need, and actually with their history, they need to not work together. Elena is saying she missed Nate as a doctor. She missed him as a practicing doctor working alongside of her. Remember when Nate got promoted and he was Elena's boss? That didn't go too well. They didn't show true conflict, but he was scheduling her to work like a workhorse. She was on this just a complete state of exhaustion. And Nate didn't see it, nor did he care. He just knew Elena could handle it. Elena could do this. And he had her just burning ends against the middle. And that's when he was her boss. And she had a problem. She says, I'm having a hard time dealing with the dynamics of Nate being chief of surgery, dictating my schedule. So that look, working with any spouse or significant other is very difficult because you really can't separate work from home. It's very difficult. Okay, ask Lily and Billy, but no, it's just ask anybody. Seriously. So he's like, look, just think about it. He's trying to convince her. And she goes, well, I have to talk to Lily because I do feel a little tension. I definitely felt some from Devon. And to me, Devon was way out of line. We're telling her, you're going to go back to him? Ooh, well, almost like, well, now I don't think as highly of you as I once did. I'm like, Devon, shut up. You just barely zipped up your pants from sleeping with Abby. So no, we're not going to talk about who goes back to who, because it would be Amanda tell anybody what you did for the second time to her. You want to know what they would say? You going back to him? Well, I think differently of you, Amanda. So no, just keep your mouth shut where Elena and Nate's relationship is concerned. And that's how I feel about Devon in that. So needless to say, she's thinking about it, but she just might get to the meeting with Lily and Lily might say that they're going to not move forward with the podcast. We don't know. I doubt they're going to say that because Chancellor Winters is still scrambling to deliver 50 podcasts. What, they probably only have maybe three, because I'm sure there were a few aside from Billy's, but they can't deliver in that whole division. They actually need somebody to come over and oversee the podcast division. That's really what they need to do, but they're not talking about that. I don't know how Chancellor Winters is getting run right now because Lily's not there. Devon is not there. I mean, okay. So that was that. And then we had Victoria had the nerve to scold Nick about, you should be supportive of Nate. I heard about your advice. Watch your back. What was that? Oh, and he's like, Vic, if he was going to do what he was going to do to his own family, what do you think he's going to do to you in this company? All it takes is someone else offering and dangling Nate something more. That's what I'm saying, Vic. And so she's like, nope, I have every faith in Nate. And my thing is, you're my COO, so accept my decision and, you know, work accordingly, professionally. So, and I'm in my mind, I'm thinking, well, Nick does need to be more professional because nobody wants to keep hearing you fired my girlfriend. You fired my girlfriend. He's not saying my girlfriend, but everybody knows she was his girlfriend. So, you know, but Victoria has always had double standards. So then we have, oh, I am so sick and tired of Adam chasing Sally, groveling to Sally. You know you love me, Sally. The marriage proposal is real, Sally. Oh my goodness. And Sally's just like, goodness, just stop it. And here's the thing, and someone said this in Comment Corner too. If Adam just stopped, and I said it the other day, Sally would be like, wait, who's he with? Who's that new person? Like, let him hook up with Audra. Who's that bombshell he's with? You know, she ain't even his type. I could tell. When guess what? Audra is just Adam's type. A manipulator, a user. Oh, as a matter of fact, I would love to see Audra and Adam hook up. I would love to see that. The only problem is I don't see Audra relating to Connor very well at all. She doesn't have that in her core. Now, Sally, on the other hand, relates to Connor very well. So, you know, but anyway, so Billy and Lily bump into each other at the coffee house. Okay. And he says, come on, sit down. Let's have a cup of, because I don't like the way we left things, Lily. So they sit at a booth and they're talking. And they're talking about the exact same thing that they argued about, right? And Billy's like, I shouldn't have said what I said, and Lily's like, yeah, like the only reason I'm with you is so I could save you and blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, here we go. But she brought right back up, you quit, Billy, because you wanted to find your purpose, but I don't see you trying to find anything. You're using Chelsea's situation as a complete distraction. And he doesn't agree with that. Well, it's like, okay, whatever. And as they're talking, I'm like, Lily, before it was Chelsea, what were you complaining to Billy about, Lily? Wasn't it his preoccupation with Victoria? Because all Billy could think about was Victoria and that Ashlyn Locke, Vicky and that Ashlyn Locke. And I got to save Victoria from herself from that Ashlyn Locke. His excuse was, Victoria, we have kids together. Well, see, oops. Isn't Chelsea yet another baby mama? Yikes. But Billy has always put other women in front of Lily as far as I gotta give them a lot of emotional support, or they have to, whatever they're doing has to take up a whole lot of space in my head. That's Billy. Billy could barely eat for thinking about Victoria and Ashlyn. And going to Victoria saying, why are you still with him? I can't, oh my goodness. So no, this is Billy. This is nothing new. This is Billy. So there we go. And it's like she said, find your passion. Well, realistically, he had found his passion. It was podcasting. But you were saying his responsibility as CEO was greater. So why don't you suggest do your podcast again? But then you know what Billy would say? No, I was only doing that for therapy, which really that's what that was. Before Chelsea got involved, that was just Billy talking out some of his issues. And it ended up being a platform other people plugged into, So they're talking, and he goes, soon as this whole Chelsea crisis is over, then you got my full attention. You got it. I mean, I'm just trying to see her through this. And then I'm thinking, no, because see, Vicky's getting ready to get involved with Nate. It's gonna go from Chelsea to Victoria, and how could she deal with this scoundrel Nate? Because Victoria walked in the coffee house before Lily came down from, because Chelsea texted Lily and said, can we meet? So Lily goes up to speak to Chelsea. And she's sitting there talking to Billy when she got the text. And she goes, Chelsea just texted me. And he goes, really, Chelsea? She wants to meet with me. She wants to speak to me. She goes, do you know what it's about? And he's like, no. And she goes, And he goes, you want me to go with you? And then she looked at him like, why would I want you to? Because what I just talked about, you feel like no one else can be involved with Chelsea. You have to be involved with everything she's going to do. Almost like you got to approve of everyone and everything. So Lily's like, no. He goes, no, no, she didn't text me. She texts you. I got it. I got it. And Lily's like, yeah. So anyway, Lily goes up, Victoria comes in, and now this is the first chance that Billy had to tell her about how he didn't appreciate what she was trying to do with Nate Hastings and, stealing Chancellor Winters. And she goes, you left the company anyway. So obviously you didn't care that much about it. And he goes, no, bottom line, that's still my mother's company. It's my mother's company. It's Lily's company. So I still care. And Victoria's like, yeah, you know how Victoria pompous. People tell her Ashland Locke is dangerous. I already got the best of him, So anyway, I can't stand Victoria. Victoria is Victoria, and she ends up leaving because she's like, I've had enough of hearing this. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and she leaves, and Sharon comes out, and Sharon is talking to Billy. And she said, he tells her that Lily's upstairs talking to Chelsea, and Lily feels that, his version of what Lily feels, which is really the version Lily does feel. And Sharon says, no, you helped, you have been invaluable to Chelsea, but however, it's a whole circle, it is a whole circle of people. And if what you're doing, she goes, you're taking on the whole thing yourself. You're going to burn out, and burnout is real. So as she's talking, Adam comes in, and he comes over and he goes, hey Sharon, if Chelsea's in, I'm gonna go up and see how she's doing. Adam came in. Billy immediately turned around, and now that all he does is stand with his hands. He goes, Lily is upstairs talking to Chelsea. Chelsea asked Lily to come up and talk to her. So now's not a good time for you to go see Chelsea, Adam. And Sharon, Billy's facing Adam, and Sharon is kind of looking like, wow. And she kind of peeks around to see how Adam is getting ready to react to that, right? Because I thought, like Lily said, you feel like you have to monitor each and every part of her activities, what she's thinking. That wasn't Billy's place to say, because bottom line, Billy could have went up there, and I'm sorry, Adam could have went up there and knocked on the door, and Chelsea would have said, I'm fine, Adam, thanks for stopping over, but I have company right now. Chelsea is perfectly capable of handling that herself, period. But no, Billy had to intercede. And Adam just looked at Billy like, who are you to tell me that? But at that point in time, Lily now comes down. But before she comes down, she and Chelsea have a good talk. Lily was sensitive, and Chelsea was trying to reassure her that there's nothing going on between her and Billy. And I know I'm taking up enough time, a lot of his time. I apologize. I know I could be causing X, Y, and Z, which, the situation is causing that. But Lily said, no, for Billy and I, we both, your mental health, your health and safety is a priority for both of us. And I love the way Lily kept saying, for the both of us, Billy and I both care, right? Which is kind of still tying them in as a couple. Because Chelsea was singing his praises, because Billy really did save me, and Billy this and Billy that. And Lily says, but you know, Chelsea, you can't just credit Billy for everything. You are actually doing all of the hard work getting better. And look, and she looks at the apartment. She goes, it looks like you're making progress. You're doing well. And so she goes, well, my therapist did actually tell me that. And I'm thinking, because she is getting fixated, Chelsea, on Billy. And she was trying to feel Lily out. And in my mind, I'm thinking, for what, Chelsea? You're still going to do it anyway. Because I've still yet to go see her have an outpatient therapy. And these voices are still popping right back up in her head. Even if the psychiatrist set an appointment for the very next week, 7 days from when she was released, she should pick up the phone and say, listen, I think I need to come in and see you today. Because I've had 2 issues now with me not being able to shut the voices out. And the psychiatrist would say, come on in, let me squeeze you in, right? But no, Billy is the substitute psychiatrist. And instead of going down to Sharon, who's a professional, and say, Sharon, look, Sharon is like, I haven't really heard from her. I'm trying to give her, space, but let her know I'm there. But she could go to Sharon, and she hasn't. It's still just been Billy. So when Lily said no, and you have just a whole network, a whole circle of people who all want to be here for you. You've got, because she was something about Billy, this, that, and the other. And then she goes, but look, you've got a whole circle of people who care for you. She's like, you've got Chloe, you've got Sharon, you've got Adam. So she's like pointing out, there's a bunch of people who care for you, Chelsea. She wasn't saying anything snarky to Chelsea. She wasn't actually doing anything backhanded. And they ended up having a nice chat. But Lily didn't say, here, you got 2 rooms in this apartment, right? Go ahead and take Billy, have him move into the other room so he can be here for as long as you need him. Lily wasn't saying all that, and I wouldn't either. And that wouldn't even be healthy for Chelsea, right? So now Lily comes down just as, Adam was getting ready to look at Billy and probably say something smart. Billy walks away from Adam, walks over to Lily. Check out his hands, everybody. Here we go. Well, what is with the hands? Comes over to Lily. So how'd you converse? How'd it go with Chelsea? And Adam is where he could still hear, right? And Adam's like trying to, how did it go? And she goes, well, it went pretty good. And so then Sharon goes, Adam, let's give them some, come on, let's go do something. So Sharon ushers Adam away. And he goes, well, she was just saying, X, Y, and Z. She says, partly I feel she was, because she would keep coming back to it as to how do I really feel about all the time you're spending with her. And what exactly did you say? And she goes, no, well, I told her we're both here to support her. And he almost said, but no, give me the exact words that you told Chelsea. I don't know that I would have used that word. What else did you say? Okay, I guess you did all right. Okay. You're not me, Lily, but I guess you did okay. He was like scrutinizing, wanting just to blow by blow. And so then he grabs her and gives her a kiss, like, okay, you did well. I'm thinking, well, thank you. She got a gold star for that conversation, right? And he goes, look, let's go get a bite to eat. Let's go to society. Let's get some lunch. And he goes, would you like to have lunch with me? She goes, you know what? Yeah, I could do that. And he goes, well, since I drove and you drove, I'm gonna meet you there. And so she goes, okay. So Lily heads out the door. Billy gets his coat from the booth and he walks outside of Crimson Lights. And the first thing he does, picks up his phone, calling Chelsea. So Chelsea picks it up and she sees it's Billy. and she doesn't answer because she's kind of really saying, okay, I do need to give a little distance here from Billy, right? And so she doesn't answer. And he leaves a voicemail. Hey, Chelsea, I'm just checking in. I'm just seeing how did it go? How'd the conversation go with with Lily? And see, and I'm like, see, there you go. There you go. You tell Adam, give her space, Billy, you know? And so just checking in. And I thought, now if Lily had forgotten something, left her gloves or something, and came back, and she would have just checking in on you, she would have looked at him and said, couldn't go 2 minutes. Couldn't go 2 minutes. What I thought was going to happen was I thought Chelsea was actually going to pick up, right? And then he would say, look, I'm coming right on up. And I thought he would just, stand Lily up from waiting for him and go right up and see Chelsea, but they didn't have it go that far. But one thing we did find out, Chelsea, she's getting ready to start a interior design business. Interior design. So I don't know. Obviously it's going to be private because none of the big companies need an interior design. As a matter of fact, Jabot's the only one, and Phyllis is over Marchetti Home and Health. That's Phyllis. So really, pretty much, almost sounds like Sally is getting ready to be in competition with Phyllis. So we shall see what happens with that. But that was it for the Young and the Restless today. That's all that happened. Nothing really, really big happened. But let's go to Comic Corner. Comic Corner, LaShunta said Nick was right. Vicky fired Sally for being with Nick. She didn't care about Adam. I'm glad Chelsea talked to Chloe. I'm really not liking Lily right now. I'm glad he called her out because she was calling him out. Nothing romantic is going on. I know there's no spark or flare with them. Chelsea needs help. Adam's too busy chasing too busy chasing Sally, but he's still there for Chelsea, because let's face it, they spent Thanksgiving together. I mean, Adam is still there for Chelsea, but Adam knows he can't smother Chelsea, and then she said, as soon as he stops, Sally will be all over him. I feel that way too. Victor's got nerve. He's the reason Abby's marriage is over. Devon and Abby were going to do it again. Oh, they were, and they are going to. Trust me. Next time she drops, well, look, when she comes back to pick up Dominic, oh, it's on now. On and popping. Your recap is funnier. And this is what Libby said. Your recap is funnier and better than the episode. Given how much actions is up against that office, the door of that office, Victoria might not be able to make it to California before she hooks up with Nate. I know. Isn't that interesting? I think Lily is totally out of bounds, and Billy is right about Lily wanting to be the one to rescue him. He supports her as CEO, and when his passion for doing the podcast was crushed, I mean, she crushed that for him, or he crushed that for her, really. But no, here's the thing. Lily didn't say stop doing the podcast. Lily just asked him to choose, because Billy was not doing his COO work, missing deadlines, jacked up a very important meeting that he was supposed to handle for Lily. He was unable to do both. And she asked him just to choose. And he chose COO versus podcasting. And when he did, she says, are you sure? Because I see you really like doing this. No, I'm sure. I'm going to keep so no. Yes, Lily was happy he chose COO, but she absolutely told him but you can't do both, because he wasn't able to do both. He just wasn't. Him and Chelsea were kicking back, talking. She throwing peanuts at him too much, and him not making a meeting, right? And then she says Billy may be overdoing it with the Chelsea thing, but Lily is in the wrong too. She kicked him out of the company and has no right to condemn him for where he spends his time. Yeah, you're right about that. But when you're in a relationship with somebody and now all of a sudden they're not around at all, because remember, Lily just found out about what Chelsea was going through. All she knew was Billy was starting to be real preoccupied with Chelsea. Because remember, with the whole telling Johnny thing, and then before Chelsea really spiraled out, Billy was checking up on her a lot because he felt that, you know, the Johnny situation was hitting her hard, you know. So, and Lily did not know the depths of it, but his attention's been, but like I said before, if it's not Chelsea, it's Victoria. So this is nothing new. Lily needs to, if she knows this is how this man is, she needs to like separate from him because it's not going to change. And then Annette says, Lily, Billy ain't all that. And Annette also said that club, Noah's Club, must have a Waffle House inside because everybody's there at any time of the day, right? And then Annette also said, Abby should be finding put. She should be finding out that she's expecting soon, right? I know. I think her and Javon's one night stand or one couch stand may end up in a baby, but guess what? It's not going to be a one-time thing. They're going to do it again. And then Annette says, when has Billy gone to his new job? Well, Billy hasn't even thought about a new job. Look, Adam could barely get to his new job. The only person we see really going to the new job is Nate. Kiki says, great review. I like today's episode. Brooklyn said, this is how love to happen, or how she wants love to happen. Elena working with Daniel, they both have a lot of laughter together, and Lily starts getting jealous with Billy's obsession with Chelsea and not spending enough time with her. I don't see Elena and Daniel simply because Daniel's going to be in the video gaming part. I don't see how their paths are going to cross. I really believe, especially with them putting Daniel at Chancellor Winters, Daniel and Lily are going to hook back up. Brooklyn says, we won't have to worry about Noah and Allie's storyline. They both are leaving sooner rather than later, since we've got Daniel and Jeremy instead. I think Jeremy's coming. And yes, the Noah and Allie storyline, it really is it never really fizzed up. It just didn't. Belinda says, Victoria has been looking at Nate for a while like a hungry dog in a steakhouse. That's funny. Yeah, we just know Victoria. And we could tell when she's got an inkling on, because she's so nice and complimentary, you know. Oh, this is how it goes. I want to introduce you. And I'm getting great comments from different department heads about you. Oh, shut up, Victoria. But anyway, that is it for the Young and the Restless today. I will be back tomorrow. And you know what? Thursdays are never happening. So we'll see what they give me to work with, everybody. We will see what they give me to work with.